That was big time.
This is a young OG conversation. Journalism for the culture, we're embracing politics, music, and a little bit of sports. Crossing over on the topics like we're playing on the court. Ice cold with the wave, reppin' 916. Got a pyramid shades with the ice cold mix.
With so many flavors, got suits like Craig Sager. Everybody loves the sunshine. Ayers, silence the haters, critics and naysayers. Champs down the paper like Biz, I got the vapors. Barbershop talk in the chair, getting the taper. Young OG, it's the sack homie. Memento, potential to own the streets.
And it was an absolute duck on the first play of the game. And that was it. That was it. Everything else he put up for the rest of the day was a thing of beauty out there. It's been too long. I shouldn't have left you without a dope podcast to step to. It's your boy KC. He was everywhere out there making plays. But anyway, that was big time. That was big time. Yeah, Sacramento, California, 916, stand up. You already know what time it is. When you hear the sounds of Black Ace on your airwaves, you are locked in to Sacramento's hottest spot for that Real Talk Sports Talk. KC's Corner here on 97.5 KDEE. I am your host, Kenny Caraway, a.k.a. KC, a.k.a. DJ Ice Cold. Big time show going on today. There is a lot going on. We're talking load management already in the NBA. It's only 8 games in. 9 games in. We're talking about load management already. We got the new game of the century going down in college football this Saturday afternoon. Alabama, LSU. We're going to break that one down and preview that one for you. Plus, the college football rankings are out, so we'll talk about that as well. Canelo Alvarez with a big fight last Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you're at. That ended up being a complete embarrassment on one side of things. We'll talk about that as well. Plus, high school football playoffs going down here in Sacramento. We're going to preview the first round of those playoffs here on KC's Corner. But before we get started, you already know what time it is. First things first, here on KC's Corner, 97.5 KDEE.
First things first.
First things first.
First things first. First things first.
On first down, here's another pick, and that's Harris again. Down the sideline, a flag is down in the middle of the field, and Harris is into the end zone. Third down and a long one. Jacobs back in the game. The rookie for the touchdown. Rivers airs it out. Allen pass is picked. Intercepted by Carl Joseph.
Look at who's above 500 and in the playoff hunt in the AFC. Shout out to my guy Ramel. Shout out to my guy Dave. Shout out to my dad, all Raider fans that I know. The Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, moved above 500 after beating the Los Angeles Chargers on Thursday Night Football last night, 26-24. The Raiders picked off Phillip Rivers 3 times. 2 of those interceptions by Eric Harris. 1 of those by Eric Harris were taken all the way back to the house, as you just heard. And the Raiders took care of business. Rookie sensation Josh Jacobs went into the end zone with 1 minute left in the game for the game-winning touchdown and sent the Oakland Coliseum into delirium. The Collie is always a hell of a vibe when the Raiders are winning and playing well. I hate to keep bringing it up, but the countdown is on, and it's going to be sad that the NFL won't have that scene, that stage anymore in their repertoire, man. Just absolutely tragic. But like I mentioned earlier, the Raiders are now 5-4. They're a game back of the AFC West leading Kansas City Chiefs. The next 2 games that the Raiders have are against the 0-8 Cincinnati Bengals. Easy work. And the 1-7 New York Jets. Sorry, Aceberg Slim, but that's easy work as well. Most certainly 2 games the Raiders should take care of. And now we're looking at a scenario where the Raiders should be 7-4 going into a showdown against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead, where if the Chiefs win their next 2 games, they'll be 9-3. They have the Titans and the Chargers, so they should be 9-3 going into that one. But that Chiefs defense is so nasty in a bad way. You never know what could happen with those guys. They could get tripped up at any time. So I say all this to say, it looks like there's a realistic scenario where that Raiders-Chiefs game on December 1st, 2 weeks from now, could be for first place outright in the AFC West, man. Who would have thunk it at the beginning of the season? Who would have thunk it after that Saturday before the season started where they had to release Antonio Brown out of nowhere, man? Who would have thunk that? So I, for one, hope it goes down that way. I hope that is a big game. It would be great to see the Raiders play in a big game like that late in the season. And yeah, man, shout out to the Raiders and the Oakland Raider fans, man, on that big win last night. Like I said, I ain't no Raider fan. I'm not going to perpetrate, but with this being their last season in Oakland and all the things that fan base has gone through, I wouldn't mind seeing them have a little playoff appearance to end their time in Oakland. That would be all right with me. So on the other side of the bay, everyone is gearing up for a mega showdown on Monday night between the 49ers and the Seahawks. Niners come into that game in first place in the NFC West at 8-0. 2 games ahead of the 7-2 Seahawks. A win by the 49ers on Monday night could essentially bury the Seahawks in the NFC West race. This is going to be a big one, baby. This is going to be a big one on Monday night. The Vi is going to be rocking. The Vi Levi Stadium, for those of you who aren't familiar yet, that's what we call it from time to time, the Vi. It is going to be a vibe on Monday night. It's going to be all the way charged up and ready for this Seahawks game, which, by the way, is now a complete and certified rivalry game for the 49ers and 49er fans. I know a lot of people in recent past have tried to dismiss the Seahawks as a traditional rival for the 49ers and say that the real rivals are the Cowboys and the Rams and even the Packers. Nah, man. No. This is legit now. They are 100% on that list. Seahawks week is a real thing, and it is completely big time. And I, for one, cannot wait for Monday night. Casey's Corner will be in the building on Monday for that game, reporting live. Shout out to my guy Antonio Harvey and Public Agents, my man Larry Lee at the Sacramento Observer. So I'm looking forward to be there for that one for sure. If you don't already, follow my Twitter at IamKDiddy. At IamKDiddy for everything that is going on at Levi's on Monday night. One of the things that does concern me and concern the 49er fans, George Kittle, questionable for that game with a knee and ankle injury on the first play of the game last Thursday against the Cardinals. He took a nasty-looking helmet to the knee that hyperextended his left knee. So he's questionable. Here's what young Kyle Shanahan, had to say about Kittle's status from Monday night.
Just day-to-day, hoping he can play this week, but we'll see. It's going to probably not be a decision to the end of the week.
Is it like a bone bruise, or what's this?
It's something on the knee and ankle. So he's got 2 things in both areas, and we know Kittle's a very tough guy, so he was able to come back in that game, but something we're not going to know until the end of the week.
Okay, well, that's not encouraging at all right? If I had to bet right now, I'd say he doesn't play on Monday. And that's a huge blow to what the 49ers want to do on the offensive end. He's the team's best weapon by far, and that would be a huge, huge loss. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we do see him on Monday night, but right now, I just don't know. I don't know. Either way, I still think the 49ers beat the Seahawks on Monday night. Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Seahawks, is obviously an MVP candidate, and he's really carried the Seahawks throughout this year. And they have their weapons on the offensive end when you talk about a Tyler Lockett, when you talk about a wide receiver, DK Metcalf, Chris Carson running the football. They now have Josh Gordon, and he'll be added to the fold this week. They've got some things going on the offensive end. But there's two things I look at right now. Number one, that 49ers defense was not happy with how they played on Thursday night against the Cardinals, the big plays that they gave up. They will be focused. They will be motivated. Richard Sherman, Uncle Sherm, going up against his former team. He is going to be ready and motivated to take down Russell Wilson, and he's going to have that defense lined up. Quan Alexander not being there is going to hurt. We understand that. But this defense will be charged up against a banged-up offensive line against the Seattle Seahawks. I expect the defensive line to dominate those guys and have Wilson running for his life. The other thing, the X factor for the 49ers, in my opinion, the ultimate X factor, is the Seahawks defense is not good whatsoever. They are ranked 25th in the league in yards per game, 28th in passing yards allowed per game, 22nd in points allowed per game. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to have his way with this defense. He's going to control the clock, keep that Seahawks offense off the field for long periods of time by keeping that defense on the field for long periods of time. He's going to wear them out as the game goes along, and I think he's going to have a field day. This could potentially be a 30, possibly 40-point night for the 49ers offense, and they take care of business against the hated Seattle Seahawks under the Levi Stadium lights on Monday night. I can't wait for them. It's going to be a big game for sure, and we'll see how this one plays out. That's the football look for Northern California. It's popping right now for professional football in Northern California. We love to see that. So on the flip side, it's not as popping for professional basketball in Northern California as of right now. We're going to touch a little bit on what's going on with the Sacramento Kings and their start to the season on the other side. But right now, let's get into a little Biggie Smalls with Hypnotize here on KC's Corner on 97.5 KDEE.